Start recording. Okay, welcome to Team Call. Today is, I don't even know what day it is. Kidding, it's February 5th, 2019, and it is Team Cut Month, which is super exciting. I promise I'm super prepared for, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about inviting because I know so many of you are showing up for your business. And you're really like feeling the new year and you're feeling Transform 20 and you're just showing up. And I know that you guys have questions writing because I have questions from you guys. And so I took some time to put together scripts. I've kind of said I was going to do it for a long time and just never. But they're not going to look very different from like, keeps freezing. I'm just going to. About to have a breakdown in front of everybody. 1 second. How's it now? Anything better? Gonna like plug it in. This is so every F word there ever has been. Okay, you're like in the window. You're basically outside, team. So this thing needs to get it together. Sorry for those of you watching the recording. You're gonna want to fast forward a minute. You were good. Well, I'm good for the moment, Brenna. We'll see. Yeah, see, you're all freezing. This is so annoying. Okay, anyway, so yay, inviting. Totally losing my mojo. Inviting is so important. That's not how I was gonna start this call. Here it is. So I have some scripts from you, like I said. Brenna has some scripts in the team page, and if you're from Brenna's downline, she has them, and I know that she shared them with you. It's not going to look much different, but sometimes we just have to hear the same information a few times before we give our permission to go for it. But a lot of this call is going to be talking to you about mindset along inviting, because you are just going to have to find the words that work for you and the process that works for you. But the most important thing you can do is strengthen your mindset around inviting and realize and embrace and just dive into the fact that this is a gift. You inviting somebody into a accountability group of whatever kind is a gift. You inviting somebody to join your team is a gift. And for you to get in the right mindset, it's important for you to remember your story. A lot of times I think that we start doing, we start getting healthy and we start feeling really good, and maybe we're losing some weight, or our mindset is completely changing. If you're doing personal development for the first time, like myself, everything is kind of changing, and it's kind of easy to forget the person that you were before, and that it was a gift for you to start. But right now, you already do the things. You're doing the things. You're doing the workouts that you procrastinated for like years. That was me. You're eating healthy in ways you never did before. That was me. You're doing personal development and growing as a human when I never ever did that. That's you now. So it's important to remember who you were before. So I'm going to tell you my story, because sometimes it's not, maybe you haven't been a coach for very long, and maybe you haven't met me yet, or haven't heard my story, or any of those things. We can lean on each other's stories. We can lean on each other's testimonies of the products and our transformation and things that have happened, because you're not going to have all the same transformations as some of your clients are looking to have. We have lots of babes with thyroid issues, autoimmune diseases. I don't have any of that, but I do lean on other people's stories. I lean on my upline story. She has a thyroid problem, and the things have worked for her. So when I'm going to invite, it took me a long time to realize that this is a gift. I always felt like, and blow up the chat or raise your hand in the chat, or say me too, if you feel like you're going to invite and you kind of think of like all the things that could be going on with someone, like, oh, well, maybe they don't have the money, or oh, maybe this is a bad time, it's probably bedtime, I'll invite tomorrow. You make up all these things when really this is a gift. This is so exciting. And if you remember yourself, and when you sit down to do your invites and you sit down to work this business, if you remember, this is a gift, this is a gift, this is a gift, it's a lot easier to send that message. And it doesn't matter exactly what you say, because someone who needs this, you will never say the wrong thing to the right person. Even if you stumble through your words, or if you didn't really phrase it how you thought you would, that's not what sharing this gift is. It's not about getting it perfect. It's about just inviting them. So my story is that I was the fast food queen. I went through the drive-through every morning at Starbucks before I went to school as a teacher. And first I'll tell you my health story. And I didn't know how to cook. We were raised on like macaroni and cheese, oodles and noodles. Like my mom was the worst cook. And so I didn't know how to cook, my poor husband. And then he worked nights, so I only had to feed myself. It wasn't a thing I had to do. And I thought that having a headache every day was normal. I thought that, at the age of 25, you should have, digestional issues. And, there was a time where I wasn't able to leave the bathroom. I went to San Francisco on a family trip, and I'm sure it was a beautiful city, but all I saw were the public bathrooms, because I was just so sick from how I treated my body and how my body was reacting. And so when I started gaining weight from life, I didn't even know where to start. I wasn't somebody who had any role models on what to do. And when I was sick of my feeling the way I felt, it was a gift. And my coach couldn't have said the wrong thing. I don't remember the exact word she said. I mean, I guess I could scroll back, but she said she has a solution, and I had been watching her, and I know that it was a solution that I could do. It was a quick workout from home. Like I remember it was 21 Day Fix. I remember she said it was from home. I know she said it was 30 minutes, and I know it was like easy nutrition. And I was like, okay, I'm in, because I was already there. And then I went through this transformation when I was ready to go all in, that I had no headache for the first time in my entire life. I wasn't in the bathroom all the time. I wasn't having the same issues. I wasn't having to be trying to figure out and doing a food journal, not to diet, but to try to figure out what was causing me to have this reaction all the time. It just went away. And then my energy was up, and I had a newborn baby. He was the same, younger than Cannon was. And I had more energy then than I did before I had any kids or was pregnant or anything. I was energetic, and I was excited, and I was living life. It's easy for me to forget how I felt before because it has been so long, but I was tired every day. And most people are sitting on Instagram watching your stories, and they're tired, and they're sick of yo-yoing. They don't understand why they can't stick to something, or they haven't found something that they understand or they can do or afford. But at the end of the day, our nutrition plan, our wonderful Fix8, which is what I have always done. I mean, I've looked at 2B mindset. I have 2B mindset, but that taught me how to eat clean. I was the girl who first got the containers and was like, how do I make my lean cuisine work into this? I'm confused, because that's how little I cooked. I didn't understand that the point of clean eating was not processed, not frozen. That is how far of a transformation. So I love it too when people say I'm not a health expert, I can't be a coach. And I'm like, girlfriend, I don't even know I still barely even know the things that you need. So in regards to a challenge group, and then I felt like I had a group of people who also wanted to get healthy, because at school, the routine was we worked all day, we complained after school, and then we went to happy hour on Fridays. And it was something we all looked forward to, but it wasn't super the most productive thing. And I couldn't really afford to go out to happy hour, but I wanted to go out to happy hour because I worked full time, and I was like, I should be able to go get a drink. Like, you know, these are the things I want. And I basically just gave myself to my career. And when I had Carter, I was like, how am I supposed to give myself to my career and give myself to my kid and like be a human? So the challenge group was something that I needed more than I knew I needed. And the funny thing is that I didn't know what life was going to come later. I didn't know that we were going to move 3 times in 3 years. As cute as my kids are, it was not the plan to have them back to back to back. And that would have been harder if I didn't have a place that I had women who were my friends. Ultimately, it was great that we'd had accountability for our health and fitness, and it definitely kept me motivated and working out while I was pregnant and through moves. But I had friends, and when I moved to Maryland, I knew no one. When I moved to San Francisco, I knew no one. When I moved to San Diego, I moved no one. I still don't know very many people, but I don't feel alone at all because I have you guys. Like, people ask me all the time, like, oh, have you made any friends? And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I have so many friends because I have you guys. But then I'm like, oh no, I actually have like not made any friends, but I'm okay. Like, I don't feel that void, where before in my life, I needed friends. Like, I needed to look forward to doing things. And if I lived in Arizona still, like, don't get me wrong, I would probably still do the things with my friends, but those are my friends from my whole life. I don't have this void that I feel like I need to fill new friends, because I talk to you guys all the time, or we have team calls, or we're in the accountability group and we're commenting on each other things. The accountability group is so much more than just, hey, like, let me help you lose weight. It's like, let me transform your life and fill the need that you didn't even know you needed. So then in regards to coaching, when you invite to coaching, that's the scariest one to invite to, right? Even though being a coach is so much fun, but we're all so terrified to ask, have you ever thought about coaching like I do? And this is the part where I get the most, these are the questions or the comments I get most of, but I haven't made very much money yet, but I haven't had a big transformation, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to sign up a coach. This is the time where you have to lean on your success partners. You have to lean on your Team Cup members. You have to lean on my story, Brigitta's story, or people in the National Wake Up Call. It doesn't matter, because the point is that this business is possible for anyone. And just because you haven't had a certain level of success yet doesn't mean 2 things. One, doesn't mean you won't have that level of success. If you just, like me, 4 years in, I'm not where I thought I would be, but I still know I'm going to get there. And I can lean on, like, hey, we can do this together. And whether you've been a coach for a day, a week, a month, you can lean on other people's stories and know that this is possible for other people. And it's not like any one of you could like outrank me anytime. That's what I love about this business. That it's not like one person sets the pace and everybody comes behind. If someone wanted to work harder, they could do that, but I can give them the opportunity to do that. I can say, here's this business, roll with it, girl. Like, I'll run with you. And that's the amazing thing. And it's so easy to tell yourself, I'm not blank, I can't. But if Emily wouldn't have invited me to coaching or talked to me about coaching or shared her story about coaching, I don't know where I would be. So yes, I love our fitness programs and I love our nutrition programs, and I'm super blessed on all of that. But coaching and the ability to work a business that I feel so passionate about, because it's about being my best self, sharing my truth, not my best self, not my worst self, just my truth, sharing that has allowed things to happen in my life that literally never would have happened. So to start, all I wanted was $100. All I wanted was $100 because $100 would give me breathing room. Last week on the team call, I said, what's your number? What's your number that's going to let you breathe? It's the number that, you know, and I know we all do this, is you make a certain amount, right? You have a certain amount coming in to your house. Then you have a certain number that is what the bills are, what everything is. And for most of America, the number in between, the wiggle room number, is very small or non-existent. And for us, it was completely non-existent. I think it was like $27. So $100 would allow me to breathe, so that when Carter got sick and I had to like stop at CVS and get like, you know, because kids' medication is so expensive, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It was like, we're good. We're good. We have a little bit of wiggle room. And then it was like $200 would help this, then $300. Then we moved to Maryland and I was so sick with Cammie's pregnancy. I couldn't work the business like I wanted to because I was so depressed and so sick. I literally threw up every 3 hours. Thanks, Cammie. And for 25 weeks. And it was awful. And so I couldn't teach and I couldn't build a business like I wanted to, but I still did enough that I could cover groceries. And that was everything. Like literally it was like we went down to one income. Then we moved to San Francisco, and if anyone knew, San Francisco is the second most expensive city to live in, and it was awful. But because I had built my coaching business, I was able to have the breathing room for the daycare, for when things would come up, because things come up in life. And then we moved again, all of this unexpected, that all of these moves are going to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen next. I didn't know that in 3 years I'd be moving to San Diego, pregnant with my third baby, unplanned, and I would be faced with the decision, if I did not have coaching, I would have to be working a part-time job to cover what we need to cover, to come in to cover bills and to cover the daycare for 3 kids or the nanny or whatever. Like I would have had to have had a teaching salary plus more. And so this has been the biggest gift in my life because I'm home more than part-time. I work part-time, but it doesn't even feel like part-time because I go and I serve, and the hours are they vary, and I just have to work a certain number of days a month. And then coaching allows me to be home. And we have a lot of moms on our team, and I don't think that you have to be a stay-at-home mom to be a great mom, but I do know that every mom would like the choice. Whether you choose to work because you love it, like all the power to you. I love working. I love teaching. But it's the difference when you're forced to do something and then when you have to do something. It's a very, very different thing. And you can give this gift to someone and you can say, hey, you know, this is what's happening now. This is what has happened for my upline. This is what happened to her upline. You can work as hard as you want, and this can change your life. And you hear the stories on the National Wake Up Call, guys, every single Monday. These people, their lives are completely changed. And this isn't like, well, I sold a bunch of makeup, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people who sell Mary Kay or any of the other stuff or whatever. But what we have, a complete system of nutrition, fitness, personal growth, and community, and a financial opportunity literally changes people's lives. I don't feel bad asking anybody to join the opportunity or to join a fit camp anymore. I would literally shout it from the rooftops. And that's how I know a lot of you feel when you're in the groove. So if you're feeling kind of funny about inviting, I will ask you, are you doing your workout every day? Or however many days it's supposed to be? Are you drinking your shake every day? Are you doing your personal development? Are you doing the things? Because it's easy to forget how awesome it is if you're not doing it. It's easy to think, well, I don't know, maybe Shakeology isn't really worth it, but are you drinking it every day? Or have you drank it every day, then stopped? Because I've done that. And that really makes me remember how much Shakeology is worth it, because it gets in your system and you take it for granted. Then if you're really struggling with the value, we have a Shakeology podcast. We have, you can look on YouTube for Shay Stanford. She's like the Shakeology guru. She's a coach. She will tell you all the benefits of it. She was a pharmaceutical rep. And she was like, I started selling Shakeology to people when I should have been selling the drugs that they wanted people to buy. But if you're lean into the products, learn more. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know what it is, but if you're not doing the things, then you need to check yourself, because then, yeah, it's going to be hard to invite. But right now, those of you who are in the Transform 20 group we have going right now, that group is on fire. Everybody is so into it. Everyone is they're having these transformations that are unreal, and it's bigger than just weight. It's bigger than, it's like people are believing in themselves. Shanti is like amazing. He is amazing. And he is saying all the right things. And we're not even super focused about nutrition in the group. Like, we're really just like, hey, like, do what you can, move on with your life. Do what you can, move on with your life. And people, I mean, like, how many comments do we get in the check-in that's like, I cried after today's workout? Not because it was hard, but because I felt all the feelings. I feel like I'm pushing through this self-doubt, this self-limiting belief I have. I'm pushing through it, and it's carrying over into my work. It's carrying over into my marriage. It's carrying over to all these things. Yeah, I don't feel bad about inviting anybody to that, because this is changing people's lives. And if somebody eventually was like, hey, I'm going to start going to the gym, I would be like, good for you, babe. Like, I love you. I love the time we had together. And I don't think that our products are just the only thing that you can do. We have a lot of people on our team that go to the gym or take a class, and it's so awesome. But this allows them to be consistent, because we can't get to the gym every day. And that's why most people stop, is because they feel like if they can't do it every day, then it's not good enough. But you can do whatever you want, but people have to believe in themselves first. So I don't feel bad about the invite, but you have to get, it's cool, I got a phone call, it's over. But you have to get there in your own mind. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through exactly what I say. But you have to decide what works best for you. And you can't, it doesn't go like, I'm going to decide the most perfect way to invite, and then I'm going to do that. You have to do it and then decide if it works for you. But you have to do it consistently, because the first couple times you invite, it feels awkward. And if at any point you stop inviting and then pick back up, it feels awkward again. You have to get in a habit, and then it doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel anything but natural. But you have to give it a chance. You're never going to know the right thing. After this call, heads up, your assignment is going to be send 5 invites, to just do it. It's not, you can never, I'm going to say it again, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So I'm going to try to share my screen on my phone right now, because I do have a slideshow. Well, not really a slideshow, but like written out script. So hold on one second. Hi, zoomed in. What else was I going to say? I just cried. I got the phone call. So, and we have done a lot of calls on inviting, national wake up calls, Coach University, but ultimately you just have to do it. And I believe in you guys. You guys are showing up on the team call. I believe that you can reach whatever goal you set in your mind. It's not that you can't, it's that how fast will you do it? Because you're going to get there. It's just, do you want to waste a bunch of time figuring out the perfect way to do it, or are you just going to do it? And that's what I decided in 2018, is that I don't know the right way to do it or the perfect way, but I'm just going to figure it out as I go. And then that's when things really started to happen in my business. And I'm not sorry that Cannon's crying, but please know Cannon is crying because he's teething, and so he just wants me to hold him all the time. So we're going to share screen. Okay. First time setup. Open the settings app, select your center. Oh, great. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to put me on mute so that while I figure this out. Okay. Pretty sure I figured it out now. Start broadcast. Okay. On. Okay, I hope. Okay, so. Can somebody text me if you can hear me? I can't get back to Zoom without turning it off, but I just want to make sure you can hear me. Yes, okay, thank you, Brenna. You won't let me come back. Okay, so my designs. Okay, so here are my scripts. So this is what I say pretty much, because in my stories, I'm talking about my February Fit Camp, and I'm talking about that pretty casually and doing polls and stuff like that. I say this pretty much the same thing, and I just copy and paste this and invite people this way. And if you're wondering, hey, who do I invite or when do I invite? Well, how do you want to be invited? For me, I would rather know, I might not want to know in the moment that, hey, you have something that I want, but I would rather you just tell me that you have this now, as opposed to you messaging me and kind of robotically trying to get to know me. If like you happen to comment on my photo or something like that doesn't bother me. But when someone sends like, hey, how old are your babies? Like, I did that for years, and it actually really, really worked for me. But the hey girl message is when you get to know someone before you invite. And then the method that I've been doing lately is that I invite them and then I get to know them. So I invite who watches my stories, who likes my photos or comments on them, and then who follows me. Because in my mind, if you are coming onto my Instagram page, you are stepping into my business. You are not forced to be there. You're not being forced to like or comment on my photos. Something about me you like. So I'm going to get to know you back. And I'm going to let you know that I do this, that I have fit camps, that this is a gift, that if she wants to, or this person wants to join me, then they can. So I don't make it complicated. I just say, hey babe, not sure if you see my Instagram stories. And I know that they have seen my Instagram stories because I got their name off of the viewed list. But I just opened up enrollment for my February fit camp, and I wanted to see if you would like to chat about it and possibly snag a spot. Always end with a question. So one of two things are going to happen. Well, three things could happen. They're going to say yes, they're going to say no, they're going to say, or they're not going to say anything. They're going to ghost you. And if they ghost me, it's not a big deal. I don't really care. I honestly just move on. If they say no, thanks, I'm good. I always answer and I'm like, okay, thanks so much. Are you already rocking your health and fitness routine? So I ask a question. I am continuously trying to get to know people. Now, they might say, yes, I do CrossFit and I love it. Now the little bubble right there is that I'm going to keep talking to them, because to me, somebody who loves fitness already could possibly be a great coach one day. So I still put their name on my list. I just put it with a little notation or under a different paragraph or something like that, that says literally the title of that particular column of the list is I'm doing my own thing. But that's okay, because we could still connect. The business opportunity could be great for them down the road. And then a lot of times I ask this question, are you already rocking your health and fitness routine? And they say, well, no, I've actually been kind of stuck, or something along those lines. And then there's an arrow to where we go to next. But a good amount of time people will say, well, maybe I'm just not sure what it is. And so again, I'm not like, okay, you're going to do Transform 20, you're going to drink Shakeology. I just breadcrumb the information. The best advice I ever got in regards to inviting was this call years and years ago. And she said, inviting is like eating a big sandwich. She said, you don't shove the whole thing in your mouth. You have to do it bite by bite. So it's bite by bite. So what do we do? So awesome. I'm so excited. I always seem really excited because I am, because to me, if you end up being in my fit camp, you're one of my friends. You're going to be a friend. We're going to get to know each other, and that's exciting. Hi, baby. So I say what we do is we crush some at-home workouts, focus on nutrition and self-growth, and use the group to stick to these routines that help us reach our goals. What are some of your health and fitness goals? So that arrow is there because also if someone says, well, actually, I've been kind of stuck, I'll say something along the lines of like, oh no, well, what's going on? Like, what are some of your health and fitness goals? Again, it's about them. If you are trying, and I should have said this in the beginning, if you're inviting with the sole purpose to fill your accountability group, it's going to be harder for you to do that on the timeline that you want to do that. If you're inviting with the sole purpose of helping someone get to where they need to be, with helping them with one of our many, many products, then you're going to sell more, therefore make more commission, have higher personal volume, and it will be easier for you to fill your accountability groups and make Success Club. Oh my gosh. Cannon is in so much pain. I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie about that. So I asked them. Then a lot of times when they say, what is your goal? They'll say something along the lines of, I want to lose, or I want to feel. So I want to feel better in my skin. I want to have more energy. I want to feel more confident. I want to lose this amount of inches. I want to go down to a certain pant size. Everybody is going to answer differently, but I promise you this is, oh my gosh. So there are a couple things that, here are my tips, is that I always let them know that I understand what their goal is. I understand how they feel. I have felt similar. So I find pieces of their story that resonate with my story. And I let them know that I felt the same way. I don't know why a huge chunk of that is red, because that's not how it's supposed to be. But, and then tell them what I have found. So one example of this is, oh girl, I totally feel you on the energy thing. I felt the exact same way. When I taught full time, I felt like I had zero energy to give to myself or my family. And then I had my son, and I gained 47 pounds in my pregnancy. And found that my 30-minute workout at home, following a super simple nutrition plan, helped me feel like a brand new person. Then, because we're talking about Transform 20, my question at the end is, do you think you could squeeze in a 20-minute workout like the ones you've seen on my Instagram stories? Another thing I could say is Cannon, be quiet. Is, oh girl, I remember when I paid for a gym membership for literally years, but never ended up going, because after teaching all day, the extra stop or the commute back to the gym just was not going to happen. But it just didn't work for me to get there, work out for an hour, not even knowing what I was doing, and then commuting home. So I just wouldn't go. Then I found these at-home workouts, and boom, I'm super consistent now. Think you could squeeze in a 20-minute workout like the ones you've seen on my Instagram stories? Or Cannon is so jazzed for you guys to start inviting. Oh girl, I feel you, just wanting to feel good. When I taught full, and like, I'm just telling my story over and over, and I'm finding this is my story. I did pay for a gym membership for years. I did feel super drained, super gross, super unmotivated when I taught. And so all I'm doing is telling my story back to them so that they know that they're not alone. It's not like, hey, I'm over here with my perfect nutrition and my perfect routine, and you're over there struggling. It's like, hey, I've been there. We can struggle and get through this together. When I taught full time, I stopped into the drive-thru at least 4 times a week and didn't have any energy after work. And I just felt blah in my own clothes and my own skin. And I found that doing these at-home workouts and had found the positivity from the group to keep me going, I'm a totally different person. Do you think you could squeeze in a 20-minute workout? Now, I do that in a different way every single time. And then pretty much, especially with the 20-minute workout, every person has said, yeah, I think so. I mean, anyone can find 20 minutes. Like, pretty much everyone has said that exact thing to me. And I'll be like, right, these workouts are unbelievable. I sweat so much, but in the best way. How do you do with your nutrition? Now, this is a very different question that you're going to get a lot of answers. So what I'm looking to help them is see what need Shakeology can give for them. Shakeology does things for nutrition, for your digestive system, for cravings, for energy, for skin, for hair, for nails, all of the things. So, but I'm not just going to say, hey, you should drink Shakeology, because I don't know how they do with nutrition yet. So you're going to get an answer anywhere from, my nutrition is great and wonderful, and I eat paleo and keto and all the things, to awful. And I can find a piece of I can see why Shakeology would help every single person. So if someone is like, I'm amazing and I do all the great things, I say, oh my gosh, you're a pro. I bet you would love Shakeology. I've done so much research, which I have, and it's filled with the most amazing nutrients that are so hard to get from our food nowadays. Have you heard of it? So I ask the question, have you heard of it? Another thing I'll say is it's super hard to stay consistent, because a lot of times my tribe, my people will say like, well, I eat good for a while, or I can't eat good on weekends, or I'm up and down. And I'll say, well, the biggest thing that has helped me stay ahead of my cravings and caving, especially for the drive-through or the afternoon crash, is Shakeology. Have you heard of it? And then when people are like, awful, I eat fast food every day, I'm literally like, girl, you are my people. I'm like, and I tell my story. And then I say, the biggest thing that has helped me is Shakeology. Have you heard of it? Now, sometimes people say, I've never heard of it. And then I say, oh, it's so awesome. And I tell why I love it personally. So I love it because it's helped my digestive issues, and it's helped me kick cravings, and it's helped me have more energy. Can I send you a little 3-minute video explaining exactly what it is? I'm using tools to help explain what the products are. So it's not just me being like, hey, you should do this. You should drink this. This is great. It's like, here, let me show you. It's like recommending a product. Hey, like, let me show you what I'm doing. I didn't create this video, but here it is. And it will explain to you what it is. And it takes the pressure off you having to try to explain Shakeology in 2 sentences, because trust me, I've tried to do it and it's really difficult. So, and then a lot of times people will say, yeah, I think so. I heard it was super expensive. And I say, oh my God, I thought that too. I actually returned my second bag because I was like, I don't need this. Then all my digestive issues that had stopped came back and my energy started dropping again. Could I send you a little 3-minute video explaining exactly what it is? And then they always say yes, or they ghost you, but then they're gone. They ghost you. So that's it. And then what I say back, like usually the next day or 2 days later, is I ask them what they liked about Shakeology. So this was a great tip from Brenna. You know, she helped me stop saying like, what did you think? Because a lot of times if you say, what did you think? They'll find the negative. Ask them what they liked about it. And then use the same feel, felt, found, and have a conversation about what they liked about it. Like, again, like, oh my gosh, I know, wasn't that so cool to learn that there's that many ingredients? Or wasn't it so cool to learn that it's not a weight loss shake? Because I know that I've looked into that kind of stuff before, or diet pills, or whatever your journey is. And I found that this has been the thing that could help me stay healthy long term. Then you're going to be talking about, you know, they love Shakeology. You've talked about it. They can totally do a 20-minute workout. They talked about it. Now, what I say is, I'm so excited that you're loving everything just like me. So now we just have to find you the best package that works. This is like such a mess, you guys. I'm so sorry. The best package that works for you. Now, a lot of times now on Instagram, I just jump on voice messenger. And I tell them the best bang for their buck for Transform 20 is the $250 package. Now, this is a recording, so you could be watching this recording when we're not doing Transform 20 anymore, when we're doing the 100-day meltdown, or the new one that's coming out around Summit, or you could not want to do either of those programs and you want to hook everybody up with 21 Day Fix, and the All Access Pass is going to be the best for you. My recommendation is you jump on voice messenger, because it sounds, you can explain it without trying to figure out a way to explain it on, like, without using too many words, but you're using a number sign, so that's kind of intimidating. I just say exactly what it is, and we've already gone over that the workouts are amazing. We've already gone over the value of Shakeology, and then I'm going to tell you that you get the step, and you get this, and you get that, and you're on demand for the entire year. And then I'll say, but there are other packages if you want to get the performance line and Energize and Shakeology, and I'll explain those. But a lot of times people say, well, I like the 215 one. I'll be like, okay, so now all you have to do is send me your email and the flavor of Shakeology that you want. I also only offer vegan to everybody, because I listen to this podcast, and women digest whey. It's harder for them to digest whey, and especially because Shakeology has so many other ingredients. I have found in my years that people like the vegan more, and so instead of giving them whey because they think because they're not eating vegan that they don't need vegan, and then they have to switch because their tummy hurts, like the whole thing, I just offer them vegan. So I say chocolate vanilla, tropical strawberry, or cafe latte. And then I'll also say, and I've gotten a lot better at this, is do you want to try Energize? It's the pre-workout you're drinking. You see me drinking my stories every day. And then I will let them know, like, well, there's a package with all of it. Let me know what you want to do. And I just put it completely in their hands. This isn't me selling anything. It's me asking them at every step of the way, do you want to continue? Do you want to continue? Do you want to continue? Now, a lot of times you're going to get to this point and then people are going to disappear. I want to validate you that I get like, I don't know, if Success Club points were built about people who said they wanted to do my groups and we got to the point of the process, or I even sent them the link and I used share a cart and they had the email, I would be making like Success Club 50 every month, but that's just not how it works. So feel validated that you're not alone, that people are just going to disappear. So sometimes they'll tell you, which is always really great because then at least you don't have to track them down. But I love everything, but I really just can't swing it right now. If we've gone through this whole process, I honor that that's what they're saying. I totally get it. Can I follow up with you for our March group? You know, I'll let you know. I run a group every single month, or I say something along those lines. And almost always they say, yes, please. That doesn't mean that they're all signing up in March, but that means that we have an open communication that moving forward, I'm going to let them know for future groups. And at the same time, you guys, then all these people are like, well, I'd like to do that. And then they say no, and then they watch your Instagram stories. They watch your transformation happen over time, slowly but surely. Another thing people will say is that they'll say, I'm just nervous that I'm not going to like it. Usually the taste of Shakeology. So I'll say, I totally get that. I was nervous too. Like, is this going to be one more thing that doesn't work for me? So the nice thing is, if you actually hate all of it, there is a bottom of the bag guarantee for Shakeology. Does that make you feel any better? Again, always asking questions, keeping the conversation going on their terms. So I'm not just like blowing up their inbox. I mean, even though I do blow up their inbox, because when I get on voice messenger, you know me, I just like talk and talk and talk. So then when people just ghost, and it's going to happen, I say, hey, babe, I know you were so excited to, and I insert their original goal. So whatever their goal was to begin with, like that we talked about, to lose this amount of weight, to feel better in their skin, to blah, 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 blah. Did you still want to jump in with us? Most of the time, they're going to answer with one of the two things above, or yes, I'm ready. A lot of times, and I've gotten bolder over the time I've been a coach, but I'll say, hey, what's holding you back? I know you're super excited. And at first I felt that this was like an intimidating question, but now the people I have asked this and the people who have answered this question, we have gotten closer in regards to like their trust in me and me understanding what's really holding them back is really, really crystal clear. Because it's not like I'm like, what's holding you back? Why aren't you joining me? It's like, what's holding you back, babe? Help me make you feel more secure that you could get your money back, or that right now, like you're just going to save for it. Whatever it is, it's totally fine. And a lot of times I get on voice messenger now and I'll say more of that. Like, hey, what's holding you back? Like, I'm super excited. Please know I'm just a human. And if you have questions, I can answer them, but I don't know if you don't ask. So that is my script. Hold on. Carter, please go downstairs. So that is going to be like uploaded into the team page. So I would suggest saving it or downloading it or taking pictures of it if you didn't do that already, and using that to help you. I'm always here. Your success partners are always here to be like, hey, does this like sound okay? But you're really not going to know what sounds best for you and start doing it. So, okay, let me read the chat really fast. I couldn't see anything when I was screen sharing. Okay, we're good. So Erica loves it, so yay. Then I didn't make a script. I kind of forgot, to be honest, to make a script about how I invite to coaching, because to me, that's really not as like, if you kind of notice like the linear process of the challenge group invite, you know, I'm constantly asking, feel, felt, found, ask them a question, feel, felt, found, ask them a question. Where in regards to coaching, it's something that I really try to either get them in a group, get them on a webinar, or get them on the phone. I'm not as great at getting them on the phone, but I feel like it's just a really big, it's a really open-ended thing. Like, what's attracting you to coaching? Or like, have you ever thought about it? You know,
it's a bigger decision for people. And so I think that they're less intimidated if they get to receive information without having to ask every single question. So that's why a webinar is super helpful, because then after I can say, what questions did you have from the webinar or from the sneak peek? But it's not as like, what are your goals for your life? Like, that's kind of an intimidating question that we will get to if you sign up as a coach, and then, you know, we start that process. But having them get some of the information on their own terms, like maybe from their bed while they're just scrolling, or they're watching a YouTube video when they're driving, that is better for me. But the invite, all I say when I say, do you want to be a coach, is, hey, have you ever thought about coach? Like, usually some kind of compliment. So either, hey, you're rocking this accountability group with us, or I love your page and like we've totally been connecting. Have you ever thought about coaching like I do? Or if I'm talking about, like, if someone likes a post that I do about a sneak peek or a coach webinar, I'll say, hey, I saw you like this post. You know, what's attracting you to coaching? Or it's just whatever your words would be, you guys. And what would the Rachel, the Tiffany, the Erica, what would that person be needing to hear or needing to be asked before you started becoming a coach? And that's the best advice I can give, is what did you need to hear? What did you need to see? And then the cool thing is, can I sit? That'd be great. I can sit, Cannon. My thighs are burning. We did faster today. You're kidding, child. I'm trying to like balance this on my dresser. This would be comedy if someone could record me trying to do this team call right now, like hot mess status. What was I saying? Oh, so then when people are giving me objections, people are saying things to me, that is almost, when I'm on a good roll, this is what it looks like. I'm inviting, I'm having conversations, someone gives me an objection, the next day, that's what my post is. I squish that objection the next day in a post. I'm not like, hey, I know you said this, you know, at the name. It's like, I mean, you guys have read my posts. Like, I just try to make them like stories, or like, I just do, I feel, I felt, I found in a story or in a post, you know, that's my flow. Because if one person has that objection, so many people have that, but they just are not talking to me about it. And that's the flow. So when I'm in the good flow, like, I'm squishing objections before people even have a chance to ask them, which is super great and a time saver. And it gives me content to post about, because it's really easy sometimes to be like, what am I supposed to say today? What do I post about? Here's me again with my sweaty selfie. And we all have days where we have no idea what to say. Or like this weekend, I did not post very much, and I just was like, I just don't really, like, I felt like I had writer's block. Like, I just didn't know what to say, or like what I was like, I just feel kind of funny. But that's how it's going to be, like that sometimes. But the best thing I can do is think, what have the most recent people said to me? What are their current objections? What are the questions I'm getting that I'm clearly not explaining enough? And I'm not saying that when people are asking you about price, you should go on your Instagram story and talk about price. But if people are like, well, how long is the workout like? Or I'm really nervous because what if I don't like it? I totally go on my Instagram stories sometimes and say like, hey, there's a money back guarantee if you hate this. And I follow a few coaches who I think tell stories really great in their posts, and I follow them and I lean on them sometimes for inspiration. You always want to make it your words. So if I do a post or something, or like Brittany Leggett is like my big coach crush, and I'll tell you some stories about awkward interactions I've had with her another time. But like I just love how she conducts her business. And so she will inspire me to say certain things, but I always try to make it your words, because when you talk on your Instagram stories, when you type in your posts, and then eventually when you get in a voice messenger with somebody, you want all those voices to sound the same. You want it to sound like you. And then when you get on voice I've been doing it a lot lately because he's teething and I just like don't have hands. So I'll be like, hey, I'm just going to talk to you here. I don't know if it's awkward for you. Just type if you don't want to use your voice. People are like super excited to hear that I'm a real person and that I'm human and that I sound, even though they see me talking in my Instagram stories, they're excited that I sound the same. So I sincerely apologize that the beginning of the call was a mess. Also, the middle of the call was a mess. But does anybody have any questions? You can unmute yourself if you have a specific question. If you have any fears, if you just need to be told to do it. I can tell you to do it, but I strongly suggest, has anyone ever blocked me before? I don't know, because they blocked me. So probably, for sure, probably. Actually, yes, people have for sure blocked me because I used to have an app called The Followers, and I paid extra to see who blocked me or who unfollowed me, like in a list form. And I would look at that and I started to kind of get my feelings hurt because it was people that I didn't really expect. But then over time, some of those people would follow me back because they just weren't ready to hear the information in the moment, but they came back. But now I have an abundance mindset. That's what I'm focusing on. So what I do is I try to tell myself, I literally do this, you guys. I walk around my house and I say out loud, so many people want to join our team. So many people want to join our team. So many people want to join my fit camp. So many people. And I'll be like, what am I going to do with all these people? I'm like not going to have enough time to message them. I literally do that. And Brenna will tell you that I do it because anytime I'm like super stressed, I like message her that and she'll be like, she crazy. But that's what we do to each other. And so my abundance mindset is that for every person I lose, it's okay because I'm going to have 5 more people coming to me in regards to followers. So any person that goes to me, that's okay. They weren't my people. So I've been really trying to switch my mindset that it's not, because for years I was like, I'm only going to be able to get a few people. I just need to find those few people. And the last probably 6 months I've said, I'm going to have so many people coming to me. It's going to be unreal. And I've just been feeding that mindset to myself, so that I'm not worried. I can see the chat coming up. So I just am going to pull up the chat really fast. Where is it? Oh, can you, cannon up? Ugh, he's a pain in my tushy. I hate the way my voice sounds. Oh, nice. So I don't anymore. I hated my voice, like hated my voice forever because it's kind of high and I talk really, really fast. I'm from New England and I talk super fast and I leave out details and I go a lot and I'll be like, crap, I didn't say that. Then personal development, and you are doing the personal development. So it will come. And then you'll also figure out a way, like I've worked on pacing myself, clearly not on team calls because I just am like, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times I'll be like, okay, like slow down. And then I'll do a voice message and I'll talk slower and explain better. And I'll try to stay focused, but you won't figure out what works for you until you do it. And I will say that I didn't do voice messenger for a long time because it took me a long time to think of what to say. So when someone gave me a message, I was like, I really had to think and practice on what to say back. So how quickly I can answer messages now. And I always give Rachel this shout out because she always messages me and is like, what do I say to this girl? The speed that I come back at that now is not the speed I came back to that at a year ago. Like I would be like, hold on, like, let me think. What do I say? It just takes practice. So keep leaning into self-love, personal development. Rachel Hollis, Brene Brown, they are my favorite. And just know that you are awesome for being you, just how you are right now. You're already awesome. You're just working on yourself. Cammy's hummus. And then you'll figure out what works for you more. Does anyone else have any questions? Anything I can help with? Let me know in the chat if you're feeling empowered, if you're going to send at least 5 invites right when we get off this call. And if you're like, who do I invite? Go to who watched your stories today. Go to who likes your posts, who go to your new followers. To me, let them know you have something for them when they're ready. Putting in an hour after this, get it, girl. And it's a gift. It's a gift. And I believe in every single one of you. I'm blessed to see your faces and to know your goals and to know that you are capable of so much more than what you think you are. Like, I see you and see each of you. I'm looking in the eyes, if you can tell. Like the world is at your fingertips. The only thing holding you back is your own belief in yourself and your own actions. So just sometimes we have to take a big deep breath and just put on the gangster rap and just do the deed, because you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in this team so much that we're going to change so many lives. So I love you guys. I'm sorry that the beginning was not so great. If someone could take a boomerang or a picture or whatever and send it to me. And that's something to always share the team call stuff, because people don't know what you do as a coach. People don't know. They don't know. But that's that. I'll share the scripts like in the files, and that's always a great resource, is to look into the files. If you can't find something, search the team page, or if you're looking for a specific team call or something, my YouTube channel is like not private. I don't filter it. I just upload the video and it just sits there. So if you're ever curious, if you can't find one. But yes, and one thing too is, I didn't really put that in the script, but when I'm signing somebody up, I will sometimes ask if they want to get the discount. So I'll say it doesn't change your price for right now, but moving forward, especially with Transform 20, I'll say it's a 6-week long program. So you're going to need 2 bags of Shakeology if you want to do it all out. So it won't affect your price right now, but moving forward, it will save you 25% off of your Shakeology and anything else you wanted. And I will go on in with that. So that's something. And Brenna talked about that. Like we did a call, not the January one, but in December when we did the pushing for a goal. She signed up. That's how she went 1 star, is she signed up a bunch of discount coaches. And saving them, again, it's a gift. You're saving them money. You're literally saving them money. So it's, yeah, that's that. Love you guys. Hope you have a great night. And thank you for being patient. And as always, with me and my crazy Tuesday nights.